we are instructed to give unto you the law of chastity, which is that the women of God's kingdom and the men of God's kingdom shall have no sexual relations except with those to whom they are legally and lawfully wedded according to his law. Each of you bring your right arm to the square. You and each of you individually covenant and promise before God, angels, and these witnesses that you will observe and keep the law of chastity as it has been explained to you. Each of you bow your head and say yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And young women, you are magnifying this problem by becoming pornography.
Among the most common sexual sins, pregnancy and abortion, all ugly sins, but in and of themselves, they are pernicious evils.
We believe that we are gods in embryo. We teach that. We believe that because it's in the scriptures. But how does that happen? What's the mechanics of that?
It was during my young adult years that I began to gain a deep testimony of God the Father and His beloved Son, Jesus Christ. I came to know for myself that Jesus Christ was born of the Virgin Mary, who was a precious and chosen vessel.
Will there be collateral arrests? Yes.
Governor Cox also cites a memo that Bernanke's office issued a memo calling Utah a sanctuary state.
So, Travis Wayne Goodsell,
after all these years doing videos for you, 2017, specifically focused on communicating with Mormons, to 2025. So we're 8 years in, with over 8.3K videos on all the channels I have. Mormons, for the most part, refuse to listen. And so tomorrow, Mormons are in denial of what's gonna happen. I saw the latest video I did, and there was like at least 4 thumbs down. That's high for nobody watching. For couch potatoes who watch. Unbelievable. And so, I had a couple of comments that I saw after putting up the last video I did. Relief Society of LDS Mormon Church to receive priesthood keys and office. Everybody knows this church won't do that. They hate women. They hate Joseph Smith, who gave it to them. 17th of March, 1842. The church talks about it all the time, every year, with the Relief Society that Brigham Young started back up again 20 years later because he wanted women to vote for him and his policies to overthrow the government. Forced them to write in their journals that Joseph Smith was a child rapist, a polygamist, and an adulterer. Anyway, when it was Brigham Young who was prostituting the Mormon women. And for the Mormon men who were out of luck not having a Mormon woman to prostitute, he had brothels built. One at the point of the mountain, one in Regent Street, and then there were others until the United States shut it all down. This ain't the Wild West no more. So Jay Winfrey, you gotta understand, I approved both of these comments. YouTube refused to put them over into the published so that I can comment on them. The YouTube Mormon employee is back in action. Anything is possible with a Mormon God. He changes his mind so frequently. Next, trans apostles. Nope, sorry. Trump's taking over tomorrow. No trans allowed. People just don't see that coming. They're in denial. They don't get it. No, he wouldn't actually do that, would he? He's just kidding. Yes, he is. He's doing it. Bye-bye. I did the video not too long ago of all the different groups in Utah. Everybody's going to be gone. I'm going to be all alone. Going to head out to the grocery store when I do, and nobody will be on the bus. Not even the bus drivers. It'll be a ghost town. Dear God. You guys don't think so, huh? You know, you got Governor Herbert, who got caught calling Utah a sanctuary city and then tried to fire the ICE director who leaked it. And now he's going to lower the flag to half-mast after Trump's inauguration. Let me check something here. Carter burial. Funeral, yeah, he's already been buried. Yeah. So why are we still doing half-mast? How long are flags when a president dies? For 30 days. Oh, okay. So it's only for federal buildings, though. And so for Governor Herbert to say that the Capitol for Utah is going to have it continue on. At state capitals. Why are you outside Kentucky, Lord? See, not even AI is answering this question. What the hell? Oh, here's Governor Cox.gov. Flag status. It's issued an order for flags of the United States of America and the great state of Utah to be flown at full staff on all state facilities on Monday. At sunset on the same day to honor the who passed away. Remain until January 28th. Okay. So it's not a full 30 days, is it? Not a full 30 days. But it is funny because Trump takes office and everybody lowers the flag to half-mast. Hilarious. Oh, it's for Carter, Trump. Don't get upset. It's just for Jimmy Carter. Remember? You attended the funeral. You made Obama laugh. Bush didn't shake your hand. This is why I watch the news, guys. This is why I watch the news. If you don't watch the news, I watch it for you. And this is the sad reality of Mormons. Mormons don't study. They don't study their scriptures. They don't study church history. They don't study the living prophets of Jesus. They don't study the church news. I do. And so I know things because of that. And Mormons are upset with me. Dumbasses. Dear God. And so yes, that whole Relief Society thing, that was from the church news. And I threw in a twist because that's how it should be, and it's not. And it's supposed to teach Mormons this church ain't Joseph's. So they need to stop using Joseph in the Book of Mormon and hand it all over. You've conned us enough. Let Mormons go. Nothing. And it's too late. See? He refused to let you go. He's going to murder you. Tomorrow, after the inauguration, boom, all dead. Everybody in Utah. Locked up, deported, murdered. You get to, drafted. Forced draft, everybody goes. Gotta go get those Canadians. which is going to be wild. Utah Mormons going up to Alberta. Oh, he got me. I was getting too casual, enjoying not being computer hacked, just YouTube hacked. Getting too casual. So you're going to have all these Utah Mormons getting drafted and then going up and battling the Canadians in Alberta who are also Mormons. You know about that? Yeah, there were Mormons sent up to Canada. Right, Idaho chick? And so, yeah, the Lethbridge city there in Canada, when Mormons first went up, they didn't want them in their town. And so Lethbridge passed a law saying that no Mormon is allowed to settle within so many kilometers from Lethbridge. And so that's why you've got all these pocket Mormon towns around Lethbridge. And then you've got long roads connecting all the different towns together. And so, yeah, that's all because Lethbridge didn't like them Mormons. Hilarious. So, yeah. Good times up there, and also some nightmares that I wish never happened, but did. So, the other comment, when LDS church missionaries withhold Mormonism from new converts. And again, this too was denied by the Utah Mormon employee for YouTube. Under the orders of the Strengthening Church Members Committee, under the orders of the corporate board. And it's Brent Davis, and he's not Mormon. Nevermo. He says, this is so weird. This is why Mormons are weird. Yeah. Saturday's Warrior. Weird. Dear God. See, that's a Mormon romance, by the way. It's weird. Much different than Castle's romance. Oh, Caitlin. Don't you understand? He's only there for you. You give him such a hard time. But why doesn't he just say it? Because like at the last episode I just saw, season 2, episode 5, I'm yelling at the screen, guess her. They don't do it. She hesitated. That means she wants him to kiss her. I've had to learn some things over the years because nobody wanted me to be taught these feminine secrets. So, yeah, women, you're all in trouble too. That's going to be sad. Bad enough that I'm all alone, but to have all the women disappear. Is it something I said? Yes it is. Because Nelson failed. You thought we weren't going to do a video, were you? Nelson failed to fulfill the Book of Mormon prophecy in Revelation. He failed. Mormons, this is higher level learning that Mormons are too confused about. What? Huh? No, this is literal history. Jewish? What? We're not Jewish. Well, Jesus was a Jew, though. He didn't exist. Oh my God. You get all these sci-fi shows that talk about going back in time, forward in time, and the multiverse. Anybody see that picture? Anybody appreciate it? And now you've got Mormons who think, yeah, we can do that. And so it reinforces their faith bubbles of lies that the Book of Mormon is literal history. And so for Mormons, they don't see any problem here. We'll start with a chapter heading by Bruce R. McConkie. I will know no better then than I know now that Jesus is a fraud, and I'm lying to you to force you and threaten you to pay us money. You're going to be nuked. We have no guarantee you're going to be saved. Blacks were fence sitters. The Premortal Council. And Saturday's Warrior. And polygamy will be practiced again Tuesday, I guess. Polygamy starts Tuesday. There we go. There it is. Where's the paper to write this down? Polygamy resumes Tuesday. Oh my God, we're all gonna burn, all going down in flames. Mormons, why are you making my life in vain? Why? You'd rather burn in hell than admit that I'm right. Seriously? Dear God. And especially women. What the hell? We're going to use the Bruce R. McConkie. I never did use this. I put it in as an extra video just in case I had an idea for a polygamy video, and there it is. The Bruce R. pick. Excellent. Okay. Nelson restored it in 2019. How many of you are being obedient? How many of you are still listening? Who didn't get offended? This is too hard for me to handle. What do you mean polygamy? We don't practice polygamy. Mormons. As easy to con as Castle was about the woman found in the sewer vent. Thought he was going to be doing a trilogy for Bond, and instead he does a trilogy for Nikki Heat. Just kiss her! What the hell? Dragging it on for 9 or so seasons. Anyway. Let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, chapter heading. 3 Nephi chapter 7. Bruce R. McConkie puts AD 30 to 33. Okay? Why would he do that? It's not literal history. What is he doing? It's because they're lying to you. They're using the same stunt that Constantine pulled on the Jews. Thus, in that first creed, turned all of the Jewish scriptures into literal histories to deny prophecy and revelation. And Mormons don't get that. Well, they see prophecy and revelation in the Book of Mormon, that the Book of Mormon is written in prophecy and revelation, and yet they believe it's literal history, and thus deny prophecy and revelation. I don't deny it. No, it's prophecy and revelation. Yeah, but you said it's literal history. Yeah? No, it can't be both. Yeah. And so Mormons focus on this and the Doctrine and Covenants, which use the customary terminology for the year, in the year of our Lord, to justify that Jesus was born on the 6th of April, 1 CE. So that in 34 CE, Jesus Christ is 33 years old, the same number as the highest honorary rank of the Scottish Rites that were infiltrated by the Illuminati, and thus the secret combination talked about that overthrew the government right here in chapter 7. What? What? Yeah. Since I've wasted 8.3K videos, I'm thinking starting Tuesday, as the rest of you are getting hauled off into prison, out of the country, dead, drafted. I will redo my YouTube channel. And there's nothing I can do with what's already on here. And so the way it'll function in the future is that I'll have different playlists. And so it'll have one that'll teach you Paleo-Hebrew, one that'll teach you Egyptian, one that'll teach you about the Jewish Egyptian religion, and another one about church history, another about Latter-day history, since everybody missed it all these years. And it's likely they'll have to be short videos, so I'm going to be bored. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. Dear God, how could you let this happen? You know, there's protests going on, but Trump's just gonna murder you. Did you not pay attention to his first term? The protesters? Oh my God, mothers joined arm in arm to stand in front of the protesters to tell the cops to stop it. What did the cops do? They brutalized them. Mothers. Not to mention the secret cars that were kidnapping the protesters, taking them to a black site. You don't think Trump's gonna do that, huh? He was just kidding. He won't do SEAL Team 6 on you. That's for the elitists. Nancy Pelosi, Mike Pence, Chuck Schumer. You just never paid attention, did you? I did. I know what's coming. Apparently even the news, who covered all of this for me to know through associative memory, have forgotten that they covered this under Trump. And it's like brand new news. Oh, shocking news! Trump has said he's going to do this. Oh, we never knew he was going to do this. Oh my God. The Washington Post says Trump's going to do this. Oh my God. You know, if you had read his book in the first place, you would have known his tactics. You would have seen what he did up until the election, after the election, and for his presidency. You'd see it right there in print in his book. He already told you what he does. He doesn't change, not like Jesus. All gonna die. Making my keys more complicated. See, because all of you are leaving, or if you're not dead or locked up in prison or drafted to go war against Canada. Hey, aren't we cousins? Yeah, we are, eh? They didn't tell you that, did they? It's brother against father, father against mother, sister against brother, and cousin against cousin. Oh, God. I warned you, and here it is. Nobody believed. Everybody gets angry. We want to die, Travis. Church is true. And so now, those who get scattered, I now have to figure out a way to get you to Zion now. I mean, seriously, wasn't parting the waters back in 2020 sufficient for you? I was even impressed. I mean, seriously? But now you're going to make my gathering to Zion more complicated. God. Seriously. What the hell? And hell is frozen over. Unbelievable. So, Mormons, and thus the church, to have Mormons out of sight, out of mind it, 600 years from the time Lehi left Jerusalem. Oh yeah, I sort of remember that. When was that? Well, Bruce R. McConkie tries to cut it off by sort of putting 600 BC, not BCE, and put about. However, when he leaves, verse 4 of chapter 2, there's an asterisk instead of a footnote by departed. And that asterisk is down in the footnotes as bracket 600 BC. No. This is a denialism of history. This is a revisionist history that this church is doing to the Book of Mormon, using the Book of Mormon on history. It's wrong, because the first year, when he leaves, is the first year of the reign of King Zedekiah, king of Judah, when Babylon put him on the throne. 597 BCE. Do not let this church rewrite history. And so, that would be 4 CE, not 1, because there's no 0 here. And it wouldn't even be, yeah, it would. No, it wouldn't. Yeah, he's counting a 0 here. Oops, Bruce. It's supposed to be 601 BCE. Yeah, error, because there's no 0 here. Yeah, interesting. Oops. And so, yeah, it gets complicated. The Hebrew calendar, for example, you got to pay close attention because it includes a 0 year. And so you have to type in the year ahead or behind in order to get the right year that you want. So, just so that you know, if you go to that, there's one person that thanked me for linking him to that calendar, that it was last year, wasn't it? On Easter last year, Google forbid access to the Jewish calendar on Christian Easter, which they stole from the Jews, called Passover. Unbelievable. Now you have Elon Musk on the debt count. There's a government debt count website where I go every single weekday to see where our debt has increased to. And Musk has his little gambling casino for X-Link there in the upper right-hand corner. And it used to have every Wednesdays the full screen of it over the debt count. And there was several times where I couldn't get it off the screen. Guess what's going to happen if Musk is put into office? At least Steve Bannon, weird. It's weird. It's like Steve Bannon is trying to be the daddy figure to Trump, to protect Trump from people who are trying to use Trump. And he's going after Musk. Interesting. Because Bannon was the one that was plotting all of this to destroy America from the beginning. He was interviewed by the Daily Beast in 2016 and says, yeah, I'm a, was it Leninist? I wasn't a Marxist. And that meant that he wanted to see everything burn. And yeah. He was part of the secret combination that the church is in charge of. And so that was his role, was with Cambridge Analytica at the time, when it hit the courts in Europe, if not the EU, at least in the UK, exposing Cambridge Analytica for their role in Brexit after he had tanked America's 2016 election with the help of Putin and others. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah, he left Cambridge Analytica to burn in flames. And so then, and he got busted under Trump, but then Trump pardoned him, and then during Biden they got him again for another thing, and they got out just before the election. And so yeah, anything that Steve Bannon's a part of and talking about, it's to burn America to the ground, because that's what he wants to do. He told us that's what he wants to do. So everything he's going to talk about is for that end. We know this. He's a part of that secret combination, the Council for National Policy, that the church is in charge of. You know, yes, they had one guy who did the Left Behind series run it, but they have their informant, who is now Mark Skousen, son of firstborn birthright son Skousen, of Cleon Skousen, to make sure that the church's will be done, and thus I can tie them to everything that has been done since they formed in 1981 when Reagan took over. So tinkle-down economics, yep, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so, yeah, I can connect everything together now with my associative memory. So Sherrod Brown, Senator Brown, doing battle with Hatch over the finance bill rushed at the end of 2017. Yeah, Hatch was doing it for the church. He's not doing it for Americans. He's not doing it for Trump. It's for the church. Russia has money that they want laundered. And so the church had Hatch do this bill to allow LLC companies not to report where they get money from. And Brown's calling him out. And so yes, those kinds of things will be in that playlist for the latter days. I know it all. That's why the church is trying to murder me. They're pissed. That's why YouTube is trying to silence me, cyber terrorizing me, hacking me. Dear God. It's an all-out attack on me because I know the truth and they're in denial of the truth. They want me to shut up. And they won. Do they not understand? They won. They are uselessly shutting me down now. There's no point in shutting me down now other than to be mean, and that's what they are. But if it was all just to keep me quiet until they win and practice polygamy on Tuesday, they did it. They won. They beat me. Mormons refused to listen and believe me. They won. And so now we're all destroyed. Isn't that special? And yet, they won't leave me alone. You just saw. He's working on Sunday. I have an excuse not to work on Sunday. You know, it's laundry. I'm not doing any work on the laundry. And yet, Mormons consider it work, just like the Jews. That's because of the tradition of how we used to do, women used to do laundry. You want to do that again, huh? Alright, whatever. It's your life to live. I'm just trying to make it better for you. And that probably should be another one, is Life in Zion. Maybe. I've covered all these videos anyway. Nobody watched. So do you see the problem? If Jesus is real, if Jesus was literal history, the Book of Mormon is telling us it's 4 CE. That 597 conforms to history at the start of the Book of Mormon. And so this is not 30 to 33. You'd have to add 3 more years. Which I think it is actually okay to be 1. It can't be 0. I did it right. I'm not doing math in my head, so I can't do math in my head. And so it'd be 33 to 36. Sorry, no signs in the heavens for that time period either. Signs in the heavens already designated as what they are, the latter days. They are not during the Roman period of time. Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi chapter 1, 8 to 10. Seriously, you're new and you're still listening? Revelation chapter 12, Revelation chapter 19. Those are astronomy dates. They're all in the latter days. None of them are in the Roman period of time. Sorry, Catholics. You're wrong too. And, I need to open up the window. I had to close the window because it was getting too cold, and that causes the allergies to flare up. This is new. This was from when I wounded my hands in the house of my friends, and feet too, by the way. The beginning of the, oh my God. It's still wounded. But yeah, I noticed that with the cold, shutting the windows, the allergens flare up. So, isn't that special? Anyway, and so yeah, I'm seeing that it's time to crack open the windows. And that's good because it's only about 2 o'clock now. But But regardless of the error that Bruce R. McConkie is making, knowing the dates of the latter days helps you understand that the 30th year is 2020 in the religious calendar. I did that. And so that down to chapter 8 with the 3 days of darkness, and then you get into 3rd Nephi 11. That's the Revelation 19 verse 11 and 17 sign in the heavens, the sign of the death. And so yes, if you're not following me, you're way behind. There are factual information that you must plug in when you're doing your study of the scriptures. They are not literal history. They are prophecy and revelation. They are giving you dates of the latter days. That's what I've been spending my whole time doing and explaining, repeating it even, because everybody's new. And so yes, that's why I'm thinking Tuesday I'm going to start a whole new system and title each one of the videos episode number for when I do them in order. And thus, you have to go to the playlists. You won't be able to use the video page anymore. You can, you won't. You won't do the playlist page either. It's whatever YouTube allows you to see when you click into YouTube and you choose to click on it. That has been the fate of previous series that I've done. That has been the fate. And so no more months after this. And so yeah, no more previous playlists that YouTube has already figured out that it means nothing. They're going to keep my video views low regardless. You know, originally it used to be a way to help trigger the algorithms, but now with AI, all of that is wasted. It's all useless. I have no idea how many subscribers I have. I have no idea if I can trust the views. That's AI. And they say it's just so awesome. No, it's not. It lies. It's a malware virus. But anyway, so this was 2020. Didn't happen, but it did. They did not establish a king over the land. You need to understand that 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 4, there's a king established on the land. And that date that it gives you is 2017. That's Trump. Hello? Already factual. You're in denial of that? And so, 2020, sure enough, they did not establish Trump as king, president, in the 2020 election. But what was supposed to happen that Nelson failed? That Oaks said was going to be a test run for 2024. Oaks said Trump will not become king in 2024 or 2020. And there it is, right there in the Book of Mormon. Now, granted, he had said that before I put it in the filings, I think. Maybe I put it in the filing. He would have known about it. But he did it in secret to the mission presidents in the Las Vegas meeting. About a week after I had 2 weeks. 14th, so 2 weeks, 3 weeks. After I filed, after I served them. But yeah, the lawyers for Trump took their time went past the deadline. I notified the judge, hey, they didn't respond within the time allotment to file. And she was a lame duck federal magistrate judge who had gotten fired because she allowed Gaddy versus COP to go through. And she knew very well that the church was threatening her life if she did not get rid of my case. And so she knew she couldn't get rid of my case because I showed up with receipts. And so she ended up being a lame duck the rest of the time. And so they purposely hired a new person, specifically saying, you need to shut him down. And so, yeah, she did all right. Got her recused. They missed the deadline. This is not right. But they took advantage of me as a pro se litigant. Violated all the laws to protect the church. And even the guy who was supposed to recuse himself, the magistrate, or the chief judge that was on the case. And so, yeah, there was no murder of Biden. In this same year, the 30th year, they did destroy upon the judgment seat, yea, did murder the chief judge. Failing to establish a king, they fail to murder also. But the Book of Mormon says they were going to fail to establish Trump as king on purpose for January 6th. They were supposed to murder. They didn't. They failed. They had the gallows all set for Mike Pence. And so, yeah, that's why it already happened. We know it already happened, even though there are people who deny they were just on vacation. They smoop here, poop on the walls of the Capitol when they're on vacation. That's just what they do. Just on vacation. God. It's the arguments that I heard from my little kid peers. Here they all growed it up, committing coup that they talked about as little kids. Using same denialist excuses. Mormons who like to deny. We're Christian, it's Jesus. Really? Gonna blame Jesus when it's you, huh? See, they told Thomas B. Marsh they're doing it, and then apparently they told Joseph Fielding Smith Sr. Jesus is gonna do it. They flipped the script. Anyway, so yeah, they failed to destroy the federal government. They failed to cause the national divorce. There were calls for it, Marjorie Taylor Greene, but nobody did it. They failed. And so, because the federal government wasn't destroyed, they had to reboot the whole thing. And so now we know what they had over Biden. They had Hunter over Biden to keep him compliant. When he got out of line, oh, Hunter got convicted. Wouldn't you know it? Our president was compromised. Is that the 21st Amendment or the 24th Amendment? The president is unfit to do his duty. I tried telling them, invoke the Insurrection Act that will instantly protect your son, protect America. They're coming in 2024. And he failed. He did not do it. So, tomorrow, he'll destroy you. Tomorrow, it's only a day away. Thank you. I'm here every day. And so, verse 9. This was supposed to be with the national divorce. It's starting to get too hot, because now I'm starting to get the lack of oxygen to the brain. So they didn't understand that in the priesthood meeting at the older singles ward. They put us in the Relief Society room because the fans wouldn't work and the circulation was poor. And so, yeah, I couldn't breathe during priesthood meeting. For the West Siders, the East Siders got to go to the primary room. That I could breathe in, but nope. And I told them I have breathing problems. And they said, no, you don't. Excuse me? Oh my hell. Denialism of myself. I think I know myself better than you do. Dear God. Just that branch president was turning it Nazi. Literally. Had to be white bread. You had to be in the chapel, and he closed the doors, had him lock them, even to the overflow. If you did not get seated in time at the beginning of the sacrament meeting. Oh, God. And he comes out when we're cleaning the church one Saturday, because that's when the church decided not to pay for cleaners, to have free labor to clean the churches and the temples, saving as much money as they can. The branch president joined me in the foyer to move out the couches, to clean behind them, vacuum behind them. And as we're pulling the couch out, he says, I'm not an intellectual like you are. I've never even read my Book of Mormon. Yep. Working for the church, we all knew that if you want a promotion and a raise, you just have to do a poor quality job. It also helps to be related to somebody important. Oh my God. My hell. And so, they were supposed to establish Trump as the Confederate president of the divided states. And so this is what we're seeing now, tomorrow, is that for failing in 2021, they're now rebooting it, and it's still the same pattern, but it's not the same prophecy that they had plotted for 200 years. They've failed. That test run failed. They were going to destroy the government and see how far they can go. And so here's the second attempt that Oakes was talking about. And so that's why they rushed AI through the whole nation, getting everybody exposed to AI, having it in their programming. And that's why you saw in 2023 all these news reports of AI systems, even security AI systems, that were causing a fire sale. Airports, even my grocery store, all were getting shut down because of the AI programming in the systems. AI is a malware virus. It was running tests to perform a fire sale in America. And so nobody shut it down as it needed to be shut down as a national security threat. They kept it going, just like Trump. All his lawsuits shut down. Never served a day in prison. The church never served a day in prison, never got seriously busted. Yeah, Trump got fined. So did the church. But they don't get busted like others do in government or branch-offs of Brigham Young who are anti-Mormon, anti-Christ, apostate, whores. Only they get busted. This is something that should be on the top attention of everybody. Nobody's getting this. Nobody's seeing this. They're just letting it go. And so, they've now placed him at the head of their leadership instead of the Confederate leadership. And so they are going to call him king. He's going to call himself king. He didn't the first time. And so he became king over those evil band that put him in. He was the chiefest among them who had given his voice against the prophets who testified of Jesus. But he's not. He's the chosen one. He's Jesus. His will be done on earth. And so they've entered into a covenant to destroy the government. Council for National Policy. Been there, done that. All those videos. All these years. I saw it coming. Warned you it was coming. And here it is. Nothing. Nobody stopped him. Alright? But somehow, with the damage he's going to cause, we'll then find out how wrong AI was in the election. Because that's what they're expecting to have happen. They want it to happen. That's why they're going after deep state Dem states, specifically. Because they are confident that the MAGA states like Utah, will conform and comply to Trump to kick everybody out and murder everybody and lock them up and deport them or draft them. And so only the deep state Dem states are going to resist. There's already a bunch of lawsuits. Oh, guys, you never learn. Ready to go on day one, on Tuesday. All of them will just be worthless, all be shut down. They don't get it. The time to stop Trump was before he ran for president. Biden failed. Congress failed. Here are the consequences. And so, yes, there will still be a divided nation, but not in the form that it would have taken in... Starting to get a headache right here. I'm gonna have to stop the video. In 2021, with MAGA saying he's not our president, we're seceding. Texas did. They did their own thing. They didn't give a damn about Biden and his demands, the Constitution. And so, because Texas was able to get away with it and keep back the federal government, then other MAGA states were emboldened to do the same thing. But this time, Trump is in charge. And so it'll be a question of whether Democrat states are going to say, no, we're not putting up with this. We secede from the nation. or go to war. That's not likely. Democrats have no spine. They have a history of no spine. Right, Biden? Harris? Yeah. You betrayed America, you bastards. So yeah, MAGA took away women's rights. That was the church. Remember, Council for National Policy. That group was the one responsible. The church is in charge of that group through Mark Skousen, who said, hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do that. Hey, we need to do this. And I'll say, okay, great. What part do we get to play? Kellyanne Conway, Steve Bannon, the guy that was Trump's lawyer during the hearings, and others. 7 minutes. That are all in that membership record. They've all been doing it. Leonard Leo. Yeah, the billionaires getting hooked up with the Supreme Court justices. Yep. All from Oaks. He's the prosecuting attorney and Supreme Court Justice of Utah, not Nelson. The ban on porn to create a blacklist of everybody who watches it. Oaks. Found his porn video. Yep, that was him. We need to spy on people and hack their computer systems to keep them in line. So this is the danger that they're pushing on purpose to destroy America, to destroy the federal government. That's why Trump is so extreme this time around. And the Democrats don't see this. They're letting it happen. I hope that Democrats are not going to be that apathetic. But you're not going to be allowed to protest after Trump takes office. Because he told the officers to shoot. Shoot to kill. He's going to do it again. If you're going to protest, you better be ready to defend yourself with war. It can't be peaceful under Trump. You've already learned your lesson. Are you going to repeat history? He had Governor Herbert calling the Black Lives Matter protesters domestic terrorists and armed all of Utah with military stuff and tanks. I was the one who exposed that in the background of a live news coverage, the cops in full military gear rammed an old man to the ground. And then after I did that video, it was brought to the attention of the news source. And then they interviewed him and said, "Are you going to sue?" "Oh, no, kill me, I'll never be found." And seriously, you don't see the danger that's coming. All to build up themselves a kingdom, verse 12. But it's the church in Utah. So, yeah, they failed. And as a result, the date of the sign of the death had already happened. 8 April 2024. 20 years to the day of 8 April 4 CE. 600 years from the time Lehi left in an exodus Jerusalem. Thus the Exodus was 2020. And I parted the waters. Nobody cared. Church is still true. And now you're making it even harder for me to gather you to Zion. Because the same conditions still apply. I can't gather you Tuesday. I can't gather you at all, ever. The church first must fall. They're supposed to fall. They're harboring illegals. I've got videos already set up, ready to go on Tuesday morning. I may put them out early. I already gave you a clue about them. The video I did the other day. So yeah. Why are people still in denial that it's going to happen? Why do people think they're not going to be affected? That they're going to be safe here in Utah? Seriously, I've already got a neighbor they fled. I don't know their situation. She has to be legal in order to have an apartment. They can't be illegal. You know, maybe there's some kind of Utah law that allows people who are sent here and are waiting for citizenship, or who are here under protection of their religious abuse, for which they're still wearing their religious attire of their religious sexual abuse. I'm not sure about the laws of who can be allowed to rent, but yeah, the church employs illegals, as the Utah scandal of the news covered it. The state government, DWS, is saying you can't get benefits. Try going to the church for benefits. And then they go to the church for benefits, and the church says, well, you gotta work, and you gotta join the church and be a Mormon. And then they go, what? This was a trap? Yep, this is Utah. And so yeah, this is what they're doing. They're gonna build up their kingdom with starting Tuesday. They're going to have to lay low, especially after Cox got leaked, because he doesn't want to deport. The church wants slaves. But nonetheless, it will depend on whether the Democrat states put up a fight or not. If they just roll over and take it, then we're all doomed. But if they put up a fight to defend America, to restore America, then civil war will ensue. And yeah, there's not many people who voted for Trump. That's why they're moving it indoors, because they know nobody's going to attend. It's going to be worse than 2016. It just happened to be that it's cold enough to justify it, to bypass it. I covered that yesterday. I know what's going on, just like I know what he's doing in Panama. I finally saw CNN finally caught on too, after they got busted for defamation. They just never get it. They never get it. All of the Democrats get busted for what Fox and MAGA do. They just never get it. Just unbelievable. You've got to be proactive against terrorism. You got to be proactive against the enemy. You got to be proactive against criminals. Democrats aren't. They're soft on crime. proving it again. And so they get busted for doing the exact same thing that the criminals, terrorists, and others do. But MAGA never gets busted. You know, Fox, yeah, sure. That was rare. That was the voting machines that got them. But it wasn't the Democrats. So, this is what we're looking at. And so, expect a new change on my channel come Tuesday. So this will make it easier, as the playlist selected will only be the one rather than 108, which is all in vain anyway. But yeah, even YouTube, the Mormon employee at the beginning of the year, thought he would be funny and reset my playlist to not cooperate. So that I'd have to go through and select the ones, and then each and every single day, and had to report that, and then finally he stopped. Now it's back to the normal practice, but still. Just nothing but abuse. Because they're protecting the church, as they suppose. They don't see what's coming. And that is polygamy. 2019, guys, you weren't obeying. You thought that was just a joke? You've forgotten that the church has been wanting it back? Seriously? And you chose not to obey. They even decriminalized it in Utah, and you still don't obey. And you call me the false prophet. You don't believe me, huh?